thought of the defense? I guess wrapping up the preseason, how have you thought they looked?
I think we've done a lot. I think we've tried to get our identity, our culture, what we think is important to playing good defense. Try to coach that and teach that and get that ingrained. I feel like we've come a long way in that regard. It was exciting to see some of the things that we work on, come to light. And so now it's for real. So now it'll be exciting to get a real game plan, dialed in, ironed out, get our guys out there and see how we look and see if all the work, see if it's paid off. So
did Tony, did that surprise you at all? Like the way what he was doing out there?
I mean, I think the stat line maybe was surprising. I don't think it surprised me that he could still play. I think he had shown it in glimpses, but I also think, when you get a little bit older and you don't do it for a year, that it's not like, and we didn't sign him until right after mini camp, so I didn't expect him to show up the first day of training camp and look like the Tony that I remember from 2017. So I think he's worked his way into football shape, and he still is a very instinctive, tough, physical safety that's got some playmaking skills, and he put that on display certainly in that game.
Obviously, the entire game. Like, coming into that game, did you have an idea like I want him to stay around here, or did he kind of?
I think we've wanted him around, and so, I think he maybe felt like, hey, he missed the middle game with dealing with something, and maybe felt a little bit of like, okay, hey, like I got to go, I got to show that I can still do this, and to his credit, that's what he did.
Without Joey, Khalil, and Derwin in, you guys had some impressive goal line stands during the 3 preseason games. Was that the most encouraging development of all throughout the preseason?
I really just think that a mentality, trying to create a mentality, every play is really important. The drive's never over. Getting the ball, which showed up a lot in that last game. So just some of the things that talk about it being important. Was good to see those things show up. A mentality of you're not always going to play your best. You're not always going to knock people out. But can you be at your best when your best is needed? And as a defense, your best is needed the closer they get to the goal line. Your best is needed at the end of the game. So, closing out situations. And so that's something we talk about a lot. And so to just see maybe glimpses and flashes of that was encouraging, but at this point it's really irrelevant, and it's got to show up for us once the regular season starts.
You got Joey back on the field after he was out for a while. How's he looked in these last few days?
Yeah, Joey looks great. I'm excited about Joey, and I know he's chomping at the bit to be out there that first game.
Jesse, what have you seen from Junior? I know he got a late start, but has he changed at all from college to now?
He's the same Junior that I remember. I think maybe, in a weird way, I think like adversity is an opportunity, and adversity for him was, okay, I can't physically be out there doing it, but a lot of times when you watch it and the game maybe slows down for you a little bit at this level. So I think he did everything he could to stay up where he needed to be, to his credit, just from film study, from staying in the playbook, coming in and watching film all the time, which he always did in college too. So I think he's put himself in a really good position to, battle for playing time at the start of the year. And I expect him, if he's in there, to play like the Junior that I've always known.
You mentioned earlier in the year that maybe some people out in the league maybe forgot about him a little bit. He's been going through some injuries. For you coming in as a new coach, do you feel like it's part of your responsibility to put him in a position where you can kind of remind people that he's still that guy?
Yeah, I definitely think I feel that. I think my responsibility is to try to take advantage of the pieces that we have and put them in the best position to be successful. And he's a big part of that. He's a big piece of our pass rush ability, our run stopping ability. When he's out there, he plays really well, and he's done that over the last couple of years. And so I definitely think, he's got a little bit of a prove it mentality, which is always great. Most great ones do, but sometimes it grows even more when you go through your own adversity. And so I'm really just excited to get him out there and allow him to do the things that he does really well. And I think that'll positively impact our defense if we let him do the things that he does really well.
For you as a coordinator, what's it like watching Joey and Khalil work together and just their impact on the group?
I said this before, it's like a dream to have those two guys, just their talent, the work that they put in, their leadership, just from how they operate, how they go about their business. And so it's really enjoyable to watch them operate. And it's a great lesson for guys of how, as you become a pro and you have some success, of how you still need to operate at a certain level to maintain and continue to build on that success. And so, those guys are tremendous, and just excited. Talking about it is getting tiring, so to speak, and I'm just ready to get us out there and not talk about it as much, but just see how we do.
Your vantage point, what makes Jim so effective at connecting with players quickly and people? But it seems like even when guys come up in here, they're starting to talk like him a little bit or say some of the stuff he says.
I think he's number one. Every choice he makes is about putting the team to be successful or the player to be successful. He's got a very unique background that a lot of coaches don't have, in the fact that he was a high-level player in college that was, I think, in the top 5 in the Heisman voting his last year in college. He was a first-round draft pick that played 14 or 15 years, played for a lot of different coaches, played for a lot of different teams, and also grew up the son of a coach. And at the time as he was playing was the brother of a coach. And, so just there's not a lot of, Mike Vrabel's another one that comes to mind of really successful players that played for as long as they did that choose that path to go into coaching. And he just has that really unique sense of understanding what's good for the team, but also he's been in their shoes. They respect the fact that he's been in their shoes. He respects that, they're going through what he went through. And so there's just a really cool deal there that I'm jealous that he has that. He's been in that situation. And so I think it's just all that tied together, with him also just being himself and authentically himself, and not in a silly way, but there's people that worry about the perception of them or what other people think, and there's people that they're confident in their own abilities and confident in how they operate, and it's been successful. And I respect him the most just because he's who he is every single day, every second of the day. You know what you're going to get, and it's just somebody that is ultimate competitor. Trying to win, and also trying to build a team that can be successful. So we're super fortunate that he's our head coach.
With that, is part of his, you kind of said he's himself. He doesn't it seems like part of it is this hyper focus on football, hyper focus on players, coaches. Not that coaches care about everything, but it seems like he literally, that's all he cares about, right? Is that part of what you've noticed?
Yeah, I think some people have different hobbies and different things that get their minds off things. I think football is his job and his hobby, and team building is his job and his hobby, and so he just pours everything he has into that. He's a great dad outside of here, great husband outside of here, and so it's really his family and football, and so it's great to have somebody like that doesn't really, nothing else bothers him, nothing else have to worry too much about, and that he's always making the best decision for the player. I think what the players see is every decision is best for them and the team, and they're starting to really see man, that's normally true, especially the way he explains things and does it. So, yeah.
Just back to the edge rusher group real quick. I know we talked a lot about Draymond during camp. He's obviously on practice squad. What do you want to see from him and his continued growth?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's everything. It's just getting better every single day, getting better as a edge setter, getting better against the run, getting better as a rusher that can finish, getting better to be able to help on special teams. So I think anytime that you're, if you're here, you're on the practice squad, you're close to playing, and that's what we've tried to, like Coach has talked about it. It's really a 71, 72 number roster. Those guys are, if something happens, that you want that person to be the next person that's going to play. And so just having that mentality, like, hey, I could be a week away, I could be a play away, so to speak, and continuing to chase improvements, learn from those guys that are in the room, there's nobody that has a better place than him that's on a practice squad in their position, guys to learn from, guys to see how they operate, a mix of young and older guys, a guy that had success as a rookie just last year, and also Hall of Famers. So just continuing to learn from those guys and get better every single day.
You've now worked with Jim 2-3 years, and you're both coaches' kids, or head coaches' kids, I should say. Was there stuff maybe you noticed the first or second year, commonality in as far as traits or doing things like you could see some of you and him or vice versa?
I hope so, man. I'd love to have some of the traits that he has as a coach and the success that he's had. I just think that, we talk about it like we're fortunate to grow up coaches' kids. And so when you do that, you understand the importance of the team. You understand what the locker room is like. You understand that feeling after wins and that feeling after losses and the opportunity to always get better from learning experiences or bad things that happen. And so, yeah, I think we both really just try to attack football a certain way, try to get a little bit better every day, not really try to, listen to people saying this or that. It's really just about head down, one-track mind. Can I get a little bit better today than we were yesterday, a little bit better tomorrow than we were today? And if you do that over and over again and the players buy into that and believe in that, then at the end of the day, I think we'll like where we're at.
I know you were back there in April, but will you have the game on Saturday night to kind of see how Sharon does in his debut?
Yeah, definitely. Big fan of Sharon, big fan of Wink, who was a mentor of mine, who's now running the defense at Michigan. And obviously all those players have super strong feelings for, so excited to see those guys tee it up on Saturday.
You mentioned the wrap-up with the preseason done now. What's kind of the main emphasis for the coaching staff with this week in between? Is it like full game prep, kind of going through everything one more time? What's kind of the emphasis?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's a combination of obviously being really tight for our first game, the game plan. Also, while there's still a little bit of extra time, you may look ahead a little bit so those first 2-3 games don't sneak up on you. And so, yeah, it's just preparing what I would say for the first run of the season. We've got a bye week after 4 weeks. So, as you have a little bit of extra time, it's kind of like, let's make sure we're getting ready for these 4 games. And then as the guys come back early next week, obviously it's one-track mind on the Raiders.
In terms of the Raiders, with Minshew being the starting QB now, how much besides his preseason film do you look at what he did in Indy last year and previous stops?
Yeah, it's an interesting, I would say, opponent study for us in a sense that coordinators coming from one place, a lot of the players were there, quarterbacks coming from a different place. So there's a lot of different things that we're looking at. With a quarterback, I definitely think it's, you're looking at a lot of his stuff. And so we're studying, things that he's done well, things that maybe he's struggles with, or so to speak. So just trying to put our guys in the best position to be successful. I got a lot of respect for him. He is seems I don't know him, but seems as if he's really like that elite competitor that kind of makes everybody around him better, makes plays, keeps plays alive, has a little bit of a gunslinger mentality. So a lot of respect for him as a quarterback, and a challenge that we look forward to.